Well, and as for me, what I was editing is that I was about to say this is bad news. It's news. It is bad news somewhat. The Lord of the Rings EFAP movies did indeed get hit, and it's completely demonetized, which was the thing I was desperately trying to avoid, so that the extensive work that was done could at least be given that level of compensation. But at the same time, Drinker had suggested to me, and it's something I've been trying to set up, splitting the whole thing up into topics, right? I think I've talked about this on one of my God of War streams, but the idea will be that you go through and collect all the clips where we talk about Ian McKellen as Gandalf and Gandalf as a character, or Sean Bean's performance and Boromir as a character. You collect them up and put them into their own videos. They could be anywhere from 10 minutes to 40 minutes, and they're all split into topics. So like the production or the world building or something like that. And, release them all as individual videos so that they could be monetized. Only just with simple ads, right? It just helps churn the channel so that we can have reason to build things that don't cost the channel from being up in the first place. So that's something that I'm working on, just trying to... It takes a lot longer than I thought it would have. I should have anticipated it, but it's okay. That's what I've been tooling away at. It's basically just sorting it all out and crushing it all together. But something I was considering, and I'm 50-50 on it, was recording the Premiere chat and then incorporating that whenever the template for EFAP is available in the EFAP movies, so that chat is in there, if you know what I mean, from the previous one, and re-uploading with, again, a slightly harsher copyright, or we just leave it as it is, demonetized. Those would be the two options I have, and I was going to ask for people's input, even chat's input. What do you think?
Speak up, chat. Oh, I thought we were waiting for chat.
Well, it's chat and you guys. Say whatever you want.
I think that's a really good idea. I think that I like it. When we discussed it, it seemed like a neat idea, and I approve of it.
Editing and live chat sounds like it might actually be like a decent amount of work.
It will be. So that'll take me at least 3 days.
Bear in mind.
Well,
yeah.
It makes me wonder how the fuck YouTube's copyright detection system works.
Great thought to have, because I've been doing this for 6 years and I still don't fucking know what the hell's going on.
If Drinker is recommending that you split the video up as if that alone would fix the issue, I wonder if YouTube is operating in such a way that it's sort of accumulating all this sort of copyright detected material like over a span of time, where it's just like if it exceeds X amount of seconds over the total duration of the video, then it's like, here's a claim, fuck you. What if you were to like
something I've discovered, and it is actually wacky, but like one of the best representations of it is Fringy did the editing, correct me if I'm wrong, for all of Mando Season 3?
Yeah,
so
all of Season 3.
The way it works is Fringy will do his copyright coverage, then I'll proof them, and I'll cover anything that I think is like, oh, that's risky, I might put something in that. All of them were cleared by me, and they all go up. They're all still monetized, or, demonetized for swearing, which the yellow one, a lot of people say that's the same as not monetization at all, but it's, a tier above that, I guess, at least in fucking claims. But right. I put them all together, because what we usually do is have the big supercut, so that people can watch it all in one big video if they want to. I couldn't do it with Mando. I put it up, and it had a copyright claim for every episode. So a rare fucking 8 or 7, however many episodes there were, claims. I was like, what the fuck? Like, there was no claims on the individuals. And so I cover them all up. I'm like, okay, re-upload. And another 7 to 8 claims come up. And it's like, what the fuck is going on? And so the only conclusion I have, and this applies to the Lord of the Rings video, because I uploaded individual hours, as did the editors somewhat that were working on them. And then I uploaded individual films, being Fellowship, Two Towers, Return of the King. And I was at the point where Fellowship and Two Towers were clear. Return of the King was still being worked on, but we were rushing. I explained this in the other EFAP we had. Put up together, Fellowship and Two Towers were getting claims. It's like, but they weren't on their own, which were 2 hour and 40-minute videos.
I had that same problem because I was doing Mando 3 as well. And the second part of that video was 4.5 hours long, I think it was. In parts, it didn't get anything. In total, it got a claim every time I tried it. But I just thought, fuck it, I'm just going to appeal it and go straight to the top appeal. And no one ever really checks those things. So it always goes through. So I just went straight for, yeah, fuck you. Well, it's fair use.
Yeah, it's the wackiest fucking shit to get used to, because there is no guidebook on this. Nobody ever says, by the way, if you're making a 10-minute video, you can have clips as long as 7 seconds or whatever. However, it's dependent on the people who published it or whatever bots are running. But nobody ever told me that if you're making a video over an hour, it's the mid-level bots. And if you make over a video over 3 hours, then you get the harsh bots. To the point now where it's so fucking PTSD-inducing that, like, the recommendation I have for my editors now on any of these videos is never go above 4 seconds, ever.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that some people could be like, oh, come on. It's like, no, I know, but don't.
No, I
For
get
anyone
that.
who's curious,
Yeah.
I did a rough fucking run-through of the trilogy after the Gollum incident, which will show you that eventually if you really want to see it. It's nothing special, it's just Gollum footage for 3 minutes. But after that happened, as Fringy Rags and Mel know very well, I painstakingly went through with a measurement chart thing in Vegas to make sure no clip went over 4.2 seconds. I considered that the absolute maximum. What got hit, and you can still see this because the video's still there, in Helm's Deep, when Rag says it's really neat that when the volleys are firing, that there is a spritz of water, that it really feels like all the rain is actually affecting everything. You see the clip that lasts about 2 seconds of Legolas and others doing it and all the orcs getting hit. And then I repeat the visual for about 2 seconds in slower motion while he's saying that. That selection, what I just described, got hit with copyright.
That's so fucked up. It's so
Yeah.
fucked up. It's so
It's the-
dumb.
The worst
You
one
need
I
to,
had
once you
was
get to a
Peter
certain size
Pan.
on YouTube, you need to be able to send something to YouTube that says, look, I'm an established movie reviewer and I use movie footage in my movie reviews. I need to have some level of protection against this ridiculous system.
Dude, it should be fucking transparent. Like, what do they
Yeah,
have to lose?
That would be great.
You know?
This is why it
Let
was
the creators
tagged.
know.
This is the reason why. Or you just need to say there are these flat rules or something. But it's ridiculous how it's been going on for this long, and you can take all of these steps and it still gets hit.
And it varies from studio to studio as well, which is like it's impossible to know which studio is going to have the top level of the algorithmic check applied to it.
The ones
So
for
I will
Saw were
use
insane.
like longer videos for other properties will be fine using longer clips. Peter Pan was the worst one I think I've ever had a problem with. And that was all the original cartoon version. And it got to the point because I was trimming it down, it's like 7-second clip, okay, fine. 5-second clip, oh fuck's sake, okay, fine. I'll get rid of all of those. 2-second clips. And at that point, it was like, I think the way they're doing it is percentage of total content used over the entire video. And any clip beyond that certain percentage will then be flagged, even if it's 1 second long. Because that was certainly the experience I had with our video. But again, like, at that point, I just went, fuck it, this is impossible to make this video. So again, appeal and go right to the top straight away and risk the strike. But the strike never comes because I don't think anyone actually checks within the 7 days. They just look like, has someone actually filled out the form? Yeah, okay, it's probably right then. We'll just pass that over.
And regardless of clips used in videos, when it actually comes down to the film itself, I am a big believer that any company that puts out promotional marketing material in the form of video, that should be not subject in any way to copyright, because that is marketing.
Right. I agree.
That's why a lot of people just...
That's what it should. That's what should be brought in. If you're putting that out as your promotion, as your marketing, anybody should feel free to use that in whatever context they want, because it's about advertising the product.
Yeah. So that's the pain. But you guys could expect a set of fun sort of snippeted videos of different discussions we had on that recording. And all of them should be pretty straightforward to monetize, because I assume being shorter means that the fucking bots will be more chill with them. And once all of them come out, I will then try... It seems like most people unanimously agreed it would be cool to re-upload it with the chat integrated. So, give me 2 weeks, probably, to get all of that done. And it'll go back up again. Funnily enough, people don't even remember this that well, but the Return of the King first one that me, Rags, and Wolf did, that is a re-upload, because the first one got struck down. That was well before I was more acquainted with how fucking awful the copyright is. And yeah, I mean, in future, all the editors are basically just going to be told 4 seconds, never more. Even the ones that think like, no, I've got always just, no, never more than 4. Never more.
I did cheat with the Marvels video because there were just cats dancing around the screen for most of the long clips in that video, and it confuses it. But they're flurkins in the MCU these days, so that's still like thematically on point.
I know I've
Lurking
got
retarded.
if theoretically I had a long video in the works that was covering a piece of media, theoretically, of course, is all purely
Yeah, it's not actually
theoretical.
happening.
No,
In
and this is
theory.
all alleged. But I would just be like, you know what? 8, 9, 10-second clips, fucking sue me, do it. But you know, who knows? Who knows what will?
Well, so
who
part
knows
of the
what'll
problem, because a
happen.
couple people suggested that, is that we don't actually know what the definitive ruling on a lot of what we do on EFAP would actually be. I believe, ethically speaking, we are 1,000,000,000% in the clear. But like in an actual, if we actually went to court, which by the way would be a fucking nightmare, because you wouldn't get like EFAP content at all for a whole 2 years or however ridiculous it would be. You know, you don't actually know exactly where it will lie when push comes to shove, which is part of our criticism of people like XQC or whoever who are really fucking pissing off the people who we don't want anywhere near all of this, because they might make it so much worse.
Yeah.
We could be in the golden age of copyright for all we know. That's kind of the way we're putting it.
Yeah.
Especially for gaming. The fact that I can use a whole game, everything about it, like I can upload. That's an industry that I find amazing. Like you can upload, as I did, a supercut of the story in a game that's mainly story and monetize it. Isn't that nuts?
Yeah.
Like that's just something you can do. And I feel
Yep.
like the
Yeah,
more
well, I
time goes
think-
on, gaming OSTs, yeah, you can upload the fucking album for a game and make money from it.
Yep. Because it's a game, so it's a game OST. So all those insane bangers in the games and stuff, put it
Yeah.
out there. It's whatever. It's a game soundtrack, so it's
So,
clear.
Yeah,
You're
what I'm
good.
saying
did
is,
hear a couple-
Dear, but woe
let's-
to ye who plays Fallout on a stream and wanders near a radio where copyrighted real music plays.
Yeah.
Woe to ye who does that. That
Yeah.
stream belongs to me now, the ghost of
I realize-
Kaiser.
I can't believe I didn't mention this already, but Das Bullshit was the one exclusively who edited the Home Alone 2 EFAP movies. He sweat and blood went into a lot of that. He got it done right on the dot. It was, you know, it had to be moved to the next day because it wasn't quite fast enough. But the man was dying making that, and I appreciate every last piece of work he did for it. And he said to me, like, as it passed copyright, and I was like, yep, wait a minute. And it didn't. And I was like, oh, well, that's okay. I mean, he really tried hard. He did it fast. He must have missed something. And I hadn't really fully looked at it. I took a screenshot of it because he had asked for it, and I posted it to him, which I'm posting in our group now. And then I was like, wait a minute. Like, I deliberately play everything pretty quietly when we're recording them, and it's like a song. Das knows really well to avoid songs getting clipped. So this is Won't Tell Your Boyfriend, song by Ruben Stunner, and I checked it. It's not present in Home Alone 2, nor any memes. It is a song that has nothing to do with anything to do with Home Alone 2.
I also had the same problem with the Marvels video. There's a bit in it, because it's in a copyright claim at the moment. I thought, just fuck it, I'm just going to put it up anyway, because it's music related. The bit where Tony Stark flicks his glove, when he has the glove on, flicks his fingers, there's rumbling sound in the background. And some random band I've never heard of apparently claimed that as part of a song that they made. It's like, but it's not. And I don't even know who you are, and it's not in the video.
Off?
So I think you might have made a mistake there.
This one's bad, but it gets even worse. We've talked about it before, but I was just going to say, so this is currently happening on the Home Alone video, which is now in escrow. And I swear to fucking God, if they push back when their song isn't even in here, like, it's absolutely absurd. But the worst version, and this has happened on the last time I remember, the first time I remember dealing with this was the God of War 2018 playthrough, my first one, where it was like, copyright footage has been found. And I was like, that's odd. But maybe it's, like blood on the stone. Is that what it's called? Blood in the stone? Blood on the stone?
Blood upon the snow.
That song, I think, can get hit with copyright, but none of the other ones, because it's much more of an official thing. And I was like, oh, maybe it's something like that, where a song, a part of the soundtrack is actually getting hit. And I checked it, it was like, no, it is another Let's Player who is monetizing his own content, and it matches enough of the video game's cutscene that he is now claimed that is his, that is now claiming money off your playthrough. And I was like, fucking hell. That's like parasites eating parasites. Like, the fucking game companies would be like, excuse me? You're taking money off the person who I should be paid anyway. It's like, what the fuck is this?
In an old video, I once used as a background song, a piece of music when I had talked to the guy who made the song, and he said, no, my stuff's not on Content ID. It's all good. Use it however you want. It's out there for you. Cool. Great. The video goes up, and then a long time later, I get a notification of an old video where someone took that song against it without any permission or anything. They did take that song, and then they decided to sing lyrics over it. And then they put that into the Content ID system so that it claimed my usage of the original song, which was just an instrumental. And of course, I fought it and I won. And then I told the guy that there's this Russian dude out there doing that to your stuff. So it just shows how insanely broken the system is. You can just take people's shit and then put it in Content ID yourself. Fuck it. Who cares? YouTube just lets you do whatever. And then we all lose.
Yeah, remember when I put my first video out back in the day,
John Wick
one, and just got stricken down completely by some random Turkish company. That was fun.
Turkish really doing a lot to help the reputation, I see.
If I may add to this, I made an episode of my 8th season of Arby and the Chief where I made a track myself where it contained 3 notes looped. It was like narrow, 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 and then YouTube matched that as a John Bon Jovi song.
Jesus.
And I was just okay. Like I made this track, but like, are you really gonna patent like 3 fucking notes, replayed over and over, like in like a 4-bar sort of schematic or whatever? I don't know what the right word to use is, but like just like
Arpeggio.
it's something like that. Yeah, where it's just like I feel like I'm not trying to copy anybody's song here. This is 3 notes that I'm just like repeating over and over, but it detected.
No, you're playing a Bon
YouTube
Jovi
detected
song.
it as a Bon Jovi song, and then all of a sudden I couldn't like. I mean, whatever.
Whatever.
The system is fucking broken. It is. It really.
It's you're thrown onto a minefield, blindfolded,
Yeah.
arms tied around your back, and the mines change position every second.
Yeah.
It's they seem to have spent an insane amount of money, Google has, on a Content ID system that is indistinguishable from randomness.
Yeah.
So good job, Google. You did it. You saved
Yeah.
copyright.
Hello, you just listened to a segment of the podcast Every Frame a Pause, or EFAP. Hosted by YouTubers Mauler, Rags, and Fringy, and joined by a cycling variety of guests across the internet, they critically analyze media with exhaustive detail while pausing at every single frame. Subscribe to the EFAP channel and catch new episodes on Saturdays, as well as catch their smaller videos reacting to the latest and not-so-greatest movies and TV shows throughout the week. You can also subscribe here to EFAP Highlights for the latest shorts, clips, and supercuts, also uploaded throughout the week. Links to all the relevant channels can be found in the description section below, as well as links to their communities on Reddit and Discord. Thanks for watching.